Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to you all. I'm Jess. We have Mix It Up Mondays today, and today I am joined by my good friend Tantauralus from Germany. Hello, Tan. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great. How's chat? I hope everybody is fine as well.
Yes, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. We see James Brazil is here, Phantom Meeple is here. Hello. Giggles is here, and Benestein is here, and Quaid is here. Oh my goodness, so many cool friends in the chat. Hope you all had a lovely weekend. I did because I went to my local game store and picked up this from my local game store. And I thought, who would be a wonderful person to play Railroad Inc? Why not the person that streams it weekly, Tan, on his channel?
We were talking about.
I don't know. I don't know. So, welcome in, friends. Hello, Dutch Yoda. So yes, friends, today we are going to be playing the Deep Blue Edition as well as the Lake expansion. If you would like to play along with us, friends, I'm going to put into the chat the link to the Horrible Guild website, and it will pop up the window for the Deep Blue Edition, but you just got to scroll down to the bottom, and there's a print and play sheet for you to play right there. So yes, I am going to be rolling my dice, and by the power of the internet and streaming, we're going to bounce between my table and Tan's table, and it will all be great. Quaid is a fan of the Blue Edition, but Tan, I need to know, as someone who owns not just one copy of Railroad Inc., not just two copies of Railroad Inc., but all four copies, as well as the expansion box. Show us this beautiful thing in front of you, my friend.
Yeah, just a second. Let's do it the other way, which is not using a green screen.
There we go. Look at that beautiful box, friends. So you open it up, and it has all the additions in there, including all the expansions. It's in a beautiful box, and my goodness, I was tempted, Ken. I really was tempted, but then I thought, no, I might as well just start small. I'll
Yeah,
start
yeah,
small and only get
absolutely.
that one. Yes, James says that box is big enough for a train. I would have to agree. Uh, yeah, so I'm starting small. I ended up getting the blue edition as well as the lush forest edition. So, but today, friends, we're only going to play blue with the lake expansion. And if we have time, see how we're feeling, we will play with the river expansion. So, what is wonderful about each specific color of Railroad Inc. is that they have little expansions included in them, but there are other expansions that you can add to them, like aliens, right, Tan? There's like an alien expansion, UFO expansion.
Yes, there are so many small expansions. I actually have lost track of how many there are.
Yeah.
I think we're still having four to play
Okay.
from those that can be played remotely.
Okay.
And I've been playing the game for close to a year now, every week.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Ben says it was just too much game physically for them to back. Plus, they slowed down on backing Kickstarters by that point. That's fine. That's good discipline, Ben. Because I know for myself, if I see something that looks nice on Kickstarter, I'm like insta back, insta back, insta back. So now I have to be more careful on where I throw my dollars and cents at because
Same
there's
for me,
so many
but
things.
back in the day, I already owned the red and the blue edition, and I
Okay.
absolutely loved it. So I had to get all the stuff
Yeah.
because, yeah,
And you
it's
stream
my
it, so
favorite game.
you're getting it. You're getting bang for your buck for sure. I feel like.
Absolutely, yes. I hope so as well as. Yeah, one of the reasons why I wanted to, I'm streaming a lot, and not is only because I love this game, but because I wanted to showcase as many of the expansions as possible, so that people watching along can take a look at them and decide, make a better decision if whether or not they want to get one of them.
Yeah.
Because there are so many in them, and some are better than others. So yeah.
Yeah. So Horrible Guild is also the publishers for games like QE and On Tour. And Quaid's mentioning that they're excited for the On
Nope.
Tour maps.
Horror Q on tour and QE is not Horrible Guild. That's board
It's
game tables.
oh, but okay, so
Horrible
I'm
Guild
mistaken then.
is Potion Explosion, Unicorn Fever, Dragon Castle, Similo.
Because I had a little like printout thing, so it must have been for board game tables then that came inside one of my railroad inks. My bad, people.
Or maybe I think isn't Railroad Inc. Still distributed by Cool Mini in the US, if I remember
It
correctly.
my copy has Horrible Guild on it,
Okay, no
so
longer
yeah,
Q1. Okay, then they might have changed that since they are now a
yeah. So don't
much
quote
more
me on that,
internationally
friends.
acclaimed company.
Don't quote me on that. Hello, EC. Welcome in. He's slowing down on Kickstarters. Well, he's only backing current 5 things currently. Oh, only 5. That's still
Yeah, I also
that's
had.
discipline.
I also did stay disciplined. I did not get Motor City. I didn't get the Dark Waters, although I was tempted of getting that one,
Yeah.
as well as which was the other one, which the successor to Sleeping Gods, where I was thinking about, but I decided to instead of spending all that money and wait for at least another year, I spent the money in this one here over instead.
Nice. Yeah. Quaid says, oh, on tour is their favorite roll and write preference, though Railroad Ink still holds a special place and you still love to play it. Awesome. So yeah, friends, if you want to play, feel free to get out your player sheets, or if not, there was a link in the chat to play along, get your print and play sheets. So yes, Tan and I are going to be playing the Deep Blue edition with the Lake expansion, and I'll explain what that is in just a moment. But Tan, what have you been up to, my friend, on your channel? What current like new acquisitions have you gotten to the table? Not necessarily gameplay, could be, maybe some brick building that you've gotten to the table recently on your channel.
Okay, the newest acquisition I got to table is most likely have been what I played on Saturday, which was the Carta Ventura Alaza,
Mm-hmm.
which is this card-based story decision making game. And else, I haven't invested that much in board games or such things recently. So I'm trying to play more of the games that I bought last year, especially for solo mode streaming on stream. So, for example, I played the Solitaria expansion for Concordia recently.
Mm.
I played the first 3 scenarios of the official Anno 1800, the board game solo mode. So that's among these things, and elsewhere there's some video game stuff happened. I played Slave or Spire for the first time. I have played some Escape Simulator on stream, and so there's not that much new stuff. I'm still on the fence if I'm going to get myself Stardew Valley, the board game, finally, as it's now currently available in Germany over some distributors. But I'm not sure yet if I'm going to get that one because currently I'm more thinking of saving up some money for if I want to get some better equipment for streaming, a new computer, or maybe go to Essence. So that's where I'm currently not investing that much in new games, and instead
Yeah.
try to play as many of the ones I bought last year.
Too many
So there's
decisions. Too many decisions.
yes.
Oh,
As per usual in life, too
yeah.
many decisions.
But yes, friends, if you're not checking out Tan on his channel, he often does gaming with the chat like I do on my channel. So please give him a follow, twitch.tv/Tantauralus, as you can see on his handle right there. And I found out about my curiosity was definitely piqued when I was watching you play Railroad Inc. So I've tried my best to figure out a strategy for this game, but I don't think I have one yet. So
The best strategy for Railroad Inc. is do not let 10 roll the dice. That's rule
okay.
number 1. I think Win the Webmaster would highly agree on
with
that one. Because I'm famous for freakish rolls when on my streams.
Oh no! But if anyone knows me, also I don't roll very well either. So it's anyway, we'll see how it goes today, friends. We'll see how it goes. So one more time, I will pop into the chat the Deep Blue Edition print and play if you want to play along with us. But we're going to go down to the table here, friends, and explain how to play some Railroad Ink because this is actually the first time I have played this on my channel, everyone. So this is going to be quite the excitement here. So in the regular base game, friends, you'll be rolling these 4 dice, and the goal of the game is to create some transit networks and have longest consecutive highways and railways connected, as well as trying to occupy the center grid of 9 squares. That will also give you victory points. You're also wanting to try to connect as many of these outer exits as possible. And then for the lake expansion, we are going to be scoring something bonus, but I will explain that in just a moment. Normally in the base game, you would roll these 4 dice and allocate them out somewhere on your player board, and you must draw all 4 dice somewhere on your player sheet. However, you do have the caveat on the very first thing you draw must be connected to one of these 9 exits. And as you see on your player sheets, they're either highway exits or they're railway exits. So you must make sure that they would connect to the proper transit type, okay? From there, once you draw your very first thing, the rest of the dice can be allocated to connect either to something that you've previously drawn or to a new exit, all right? On these 4 dice, you cannot draw somewhere where it's not connected to anything. It can't just be randomly drawn in no man's land, okay? They have to be connected to something you've previously drawn or to a new exit. However, on the lake dice, which I'll explain, they kind of have a little exception on these lake dice. But again, I will explain what those do in just a second. All right. As well as these 4 dice that we are going to be rolling, you will see on some of the dice, they have these little black squares in the center. The black squares are stations, which sometimes allow you to convert from a railway to a highway or a highway to a railway. And those can be ways where you can transition the 2 different transit types. So let's say if you had a highway going into this area, you have a station, you can have a railway coming out from this side. Okay, so stations can help you connect those 2 transit types together. And they also continue along your network, because one of the things you're going to be scoring at the end of the game is the number of exits along your longest, network. So the longer, more squares that you have occupied in one singular network, the more points you are going to get. I have a secondary sheet so you can see, but down here, you will count the number. You will count the number of exits that you're able to reach with your longest network, and however many that you are able to reach gives you that many points. But you will also add the number of networks that you have. So let's say if you had a network that only connected 3 exits at first, and then you had a secondary network somewhere on your grid that connected 5 exits, you would add the number in the orange here, so the 16 plus the 8. So overall, for your exit scoring, you would get 24 points there. So the kicker is, when you're playing this game, friends, you want to connect one network to as many exits as possible, because as you can see, if you're able to do so in one singular network, the more points you are going to get down the line, okay? So it's better to have one big network instead of many smaller networks, all right? The next thing you're going to be scoring for is going to be the longest highways and the longest railways, and those you're going to be counting on your squares. I will also mention too that there are these die faces, which are called overpasses. Overpasses are highways that are going above railways, and they are essentially 2 separate networks, unless you're able to connect the railway and the highway somehow with the stations. This essentially is 2 separate networks. So it's not a 4-way crossing. It's basically, think of it as an overpass passing over the railway that you're drawing. Okay, so you have to be mindful when you're connecting all of your different transit types to one another to make sure that you are actually aware that these are 2 separate modes of transit, as well as 2 separate directions that those pathways are going.
That's really nice. That means that in your version, which needs to be of a newer edition than mine, because I still have in mine the old iconography for the overpass.
Oh, okay.
So the 2 curved
Yes.
lines.
Yes.
to show that there is basically a railway tunnel underneath the highway.
Yes.
These have been added with Railroad Inc. Challenge
Oh,
to
okay.
make the result more clearly visible that they are not connected, but instead intersecting each other.
Yeah, so that's, and it also shows here too on the player sheet that same
Oh,
iconography
okay,
as
yeah.
well. So
See,
that's
my
good.
player sheet has the old one.
Okay, well, as long as you know, you understand what that means, but as long as you know, friends,
Yeah.
that means an overpass. Um, so again, and the different faces of the dice that you roll from the white dice, they're shown here. And sometimes they suggest if you want to, whenever you roll the 4 dice, to mark which 4 you have available for you for that round, so you don't have to constantly look back and forth on the dice, because this game plays up to 6 players, friends. And so sometimes if you're playing around a larger table, it's kind of hard to see the dice from however far, so someone can read out what the die faces are, and you can just mark them on your player sheet and then execute your drawing on your grid. Okay.
That's with the single base game. If you own both base games of the original series, you could basically play with 12 players.
Yeah.
Physically.
That
or
would
even
be
more
awesome.
if some print their own copy or print player sheets.
Yeah.
So basically, the games can be played with an unlimited number of players.
That's awesome.
I might have to try a Guinness Book record.
Bring everybody. Everybody come on down. How many people can fit on a train? Let's all play that together. So. Okay, so then after we're scoring with our exits and our longest railways and highways, we're going to score how many of these center squares here, friends, get scored based upon the transit that you have marked within them, okay? So if you're able to draw some sort of transit or a station or something like that within these 9 squares, you get 1 point per square that you fill in. Okay. Then there's also dead ends. Oh no, or errors as they call them in the game.
Dum dum dum.
Sometimes there could be, as the game progresses, you cannot connect certain transit, so you're ending up in a dead end somewhere. It just goes off and to an empty space and it's not connected to any other spaces on your grid. You will get minus points, 1 point per every side that has a dead end in it. Correct, Tan? Not just a square, but every side.
Every stretch of railway or highway that is not connected to another one or leading offwards the board.
Yes, so that's where you can get in trouble, which I have in the past playing this, and so it's hard to navigate.
Same.
So be mindful of that, because it's -1 per dead end that you have. And then finally, friends, this is the star. This pertains to our lake dice, but I will go over that in just a moment. And then the thing that I will also mention too is that up here there are 6 special die faces that you could draw throughout the game. However, you are limited to only drawing 3 for the entire game and only once per a turn. Okay? So, in addition to the 4 dice here, you can draw one of these die on a turn. However, you're only limited to drawing 3 out of the 6 for the entire game. And these, as you can see, there are 4-way crossings, and there are different iterations of either highway, railway, or a combination of both with a station inside. These can kind of help you if you're in a bind to try to connect certain transit together, and the dice are not coming up in your favor. Will Wheaton, you know how that goes, Tan.
Yes, I am.
So that could happen there. So that could be a possibility for you to be able to utilize. So that is in addition to the 4 white dice that you can draw on a round. Okay. Now, I think I covered everything for the base game, Tan. Is there anything else that you want to add before I move on to the lake expansion?
Yeah, one thing that might not be clear enough, which is because it's something people from those 6 specials, when you're saying they're allowed to draw a maximum of 3 per game, it's also each one you can only draw a single time.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That's also an important thing. So basically, the best thing to do is to cross out the one that you had been drawing.
Yes. So you could not draw the 4-way railway every single time. You can only use it once.
Correct. Only single time during the whole game.
Okay.
And another thing, which is also something that I usually forget to mention until I started, Whenever you write down a symbol on your player sheet, the boxes in the top right corner, they have this small white box. And you're usually supposed to write down the number of the current turn in that one. It
Yes.
helps tremendously with backtracking and counting if you had drawn everything for the given round.
Yes.
In addition
So,
to maybe marking which ones are available.
correct. So that also
So,
helps. So whatever round number you are in, that would be helpful for you to write it down. It's not
okay.
requirement, but they do recommend it for players to help keep track.
And another thing in regards to for those people among us who like me are into statistics and result distribution, from the 4 white dice we're using, 3 are identical and the 4th one is a special one. So the 3 identical ones show a straight of each type, a curve of each type, and a t-intersection of each type.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst the 4th one shows the overpass twice, head to which I refer to the head-to-head coupling, which is a highway leading to a station and a railway leading off that station in the opposite direction. And 2 of them show the curved one.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, the curved one, is one that's very special because what we also did not mention is that the results can be rotated and or flipped.
Yes, or like mirrored.
And that's especially important with that one because both results show it like this, like a left curve,
Mm-hmm.
but you can basically make it a right curve by mirroring it.
Yes.
Basically by flipping it.
Yes.
And that's the only thing where you cannot get, or one of the few things, or at least on the dice, where you cannot get the same result by simply rotating it in 90 degrees increments. Mm-hmm. In this case, you have to flip it. So that's an important thing. I did not know that when I first played the game. I was always very bummed about that dreaded curved coupling was always a left curve.
Yes,
so
no,
that's
you
one
can
thing to keep
rotate.
in
You
mind.
can rotate this or mirror it or flip it. Yes, like Tam was saying. Okay, so now we're going on to the lake dice, friends. So with that, we're going to be rolling these 2 dice. The lake die expansion means you have the option of drawing either one or both of the lake dice, but you do not have to on a turn. You can choose not to. For each of the dice that you draw, you can draw them anywhere on your grid. They do not have to be connected to any previously drawn transit. Okay? That is one thing to remember. The lake dice have the exception. You will see there are different faces. So the little squiggles indicate water. The stations here with a highway actually are called piers in this game. So if like you're going to the coast and you reach a pier, that's what they're calling these areas. There are also places with the water with the L-shaped kind of coupling that Tan was talking about with the pier. So it's a highway coming in and then the railway going out. You can flip these around. However, friends, you also must make sure that the lake spaces are in the correct orientation when you flip it or rotate it or anything like that. When you do draw at least 3 sides that have 3 sides connected to some sort of water space, the central area inside will automatically become water. So you're basically filling up the lake. So if, for example, I had this here and I drew this, I drew this the other way, like this. So I had water, this is water, and then over here I had this nice space for water. Why can't I
just
not?
make up an example. It's always the best to not use the dice.
That's very true.
To make
Okay,
those examples.
I'm just gonna make it up. All right, so let's say I had, this is water here, friends, water, and this is water here, water, and then down here is some more water, water. This space in the center, once I reach these 3 sides of this square, this automatically becomes water in here. So I'm filling in the lake, basically. So that applies to any time you have 3 3 water lake spaces surrounding a square that automatically gets filled in. Now, when you are scoring at the end of the game, you will score points based upon the number of spaces occupied by your smallest lake. So you can have multiple lakes on your grid. However, the smallest lake is the only one that is going to be counted for points, and it is 1 point per each space occupied by your smallest lake. Now, your lakes do not have to be completed, so they don't have to have, coastlines or whatever in order for them to be counted as a lake. And the edges of your lakes are not considered as dead ends or errors. It is only the transit that have to be connected to other forms of transit, so that way you do not get errors. So as you see here on this die, friends, there's 3 sides with the water. If you are unable to connect all 3 sides of your water space, you do not get errors for those unconnected water spaces. It's only when you have your highways or your railways that aren't connected to a network or to an exit that you would get the error or the dead end penalty. Other things to mention, Tan, you were saying as well that you could draw them where your peers and everything. Your peers don't necessarily have to start at an exit with the matching transit. You could draw it just randomly in the middle of your grid if you wanted to.
So the lake dice do not have to be drawn connected to something that is existing, but they still have to adhere to the normal rules of that we cannot draw something that would cause an illegal connection. So you could not draw it in a way that, for example,
So I could not draw something like this. So I have like my station here with my highway, and then I have my railway, and then this is water here, water. I could not draw it so that way this is another railway, because that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. The same is with the water side. So you cannot draw it in a way that the water side is showing directly to a...
So I could not draw like water here connecting into a railway without the pier.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
I was just double checking the example on the back side of the rulebook, but yes, correct.
I feel like I'm going to get myself stuck on that too, so you probably will have to correct me, Dan, when I'm playing. I'm just usually when I'm drawing and be like, woohoo!
Usually when playing the game, I'm busy with my own sheet and and not being a rules lawyer. No, we obviously I can't do that. That's not an issue.
So, okay. All right. So, any other and then one other thing I will mention, friends, because we are using the Lake Dice expansion, we are only going to be playing a total of 6 rounds instead of 7 for this game. And that I have found is very helpful because you could draw all of this extra stuff. And sometimes your networks just kind of get to a point where you can't really draw anything that would be beneficial for you anymore. So it's nice when you have not the same number of rounds as in the base game. So, yeah. It's all right, Gus. You were on a work call, my dear, so it is totally fine.
Okay. Because I shortly blanked out. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy today for whatever reason. Did you mention what's the other main thing to keep in mind that with the lake, that it not only gives you bonus points, but there's also something special with those piers?
I did not mention about the piers. What is the bonuses for the piers?
The specialty of the piers is that piers that when you can basically trace a route from a pier to another pier via the same body of water, these two are counted as connected.
Oh, okay.
Which basically allows you to, let's say, have all part of your network on the top of your board leading to the lake, and then part of the network leading down on the southern bank of the lake, and the north side and the south side are considered connected for regards of scoring at the end of the game.
Oh, okay, because they have the water in the center.
Correct, because basically you have two stations that are connected with each other
Got it.
via water. And the downside to this is that you cannot continue counting your longest consecutive railway or highway like this, because it's
Oh,
basically interrupting them.
okay. But it is still
But it's
considered for the
basically
network scoring.
correctly. It's
Okay.
like those river ferries in New York where you can use them to get from one side to
Got
over
it.
to Brooklyn, for example.
Got it.
So
Okay.
without having to use the subway.
All right. Friends, if you're all ready, if there are no questions in the chat, I am going to roll these first set of dice.
I
Tan,
guess.
for purposes of the game, would you like me to leave them in the dice tray or would you like me to place them here on the table?
As long as they're all grouped together, it's not of a difference to me if they're on the left or on the right.
Okay.
So it's
I will
pick whatever
probably pull
you
them.
and the viewers are most
Yeah, I'll probably
comfortable
pull
with.
them out and then display them here on the side so everyone can see them.
Totally
Okay.
fine with me.
Good luck. I am channeling.
Even more important, have fun.
Yes, I am channeling my non-Will Wheaton side, if possible.
Wheaton.
Yeah. Tan has his inner Sheldon Cooper side, so.
Not really. So not for that same reason. Yes, I have some personality traits of Sheldon Cooper as well of all the other three nerds. That's my mom always used to say, yeah, you and your buddies, they are so much alike like the guys in Big Bang Theory. Which is true. Each and every single one of us shows traits, one or the other trait of those characters. Which that's one of the reasons why I love the Big Bang Theory, because I feel represented by that show. It's showing the way we old school nerds are, we scientific nerds can be, and what's tricky with us and what's great with us.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
So doing this.
So let me double check this one that I can see this correct. We have a straight railway, a curved railway, a straight highway.
Yes.
A head-to-head coupling.
Yes.
A small lake cap and a diagonal lake with a station and
yes.
the curved coupling. Okay. So I'm most likely going to start.
And I have a second player sheet over here. So I'm marking what things, because this little flap thing here, friends, I don't want to have to like keep pushing it on the table, so I'm going to just leave this for my drawing area, and then I have a secondary player sheet to mark which dice are going to be used. Gus says, let me know if either of you needs points cash for a reroll. That is true, friends. I do have a chat command for a reroll. However, as soon as we start drawing things, I feel like that negates the reroll. So once they are done and once we start committed to drawing things, I think we should leave it as is. Yes, Will Wheaton, of course, Quaid. Quaid understands. All right, so I kind of want to do what you were saying, Tan, with the water and everything here. So I think I'm going to do this. And have my pier. But it's going to go out this way with my highway. And then my lake is going to go like this.
See, no reroll channel point redemption on my channel. Instead, when there are enough people playing along, I have a special tool programs where people can basically vote on the results of a single die, and so the majority decides what that die is going to show in the next round of gameplay. So people can vote on what they like, and chat has a chance of messing with people by picking the weirdest of all the potential things. Although it's one of the normal dice, not the one with the overpass, or even worse, the one with in Railroad Ink Challenge Ink. No, Railroad Ink Challenge, not Double Ink. There are some other die symbols as well. For example, double curves, which is next to the dead end, the deadliest of all dice results, in my opinion. And imagine chat could vote on double curves. They would vote on double curves every single time. I'm absolutely sure. Chaos.
Chaos will ensue. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do one of my specials. Special highway. And I will cross that off on my player sheets to know that I have that there. And
Oh,
then,
using a special in round 1.
yeah, I don't know if that's going to pay off for me, honestly, Tan. Like I said, I don't have a strategy
I
yet.
have experienced both versions, that it was really helpful and it wasn't. So in Railroading Challenge, which is the successor slash evolution, there are goal cards where you have to achieve certain things to gain points. And in this case, that it can be useful to do such things like using a special round 1 to achieve that one in round 1, or maybe multiple ones. But that can also backfire then depending on the dice rolls later. But that's the great thing about Railroad Inc. You can never be sure that your game plan is working, but the more you play it, the more likely you are in planning ahead and trying to mitigate bad luck in regards to dice rolling. So that's a great thing. It's an easy to grasp game, but it's giving you enough tactical options that it still makes fun after having played it 50 times plus.
Yeah. Okay, so that is my first board. Tan, would you mind switching to your table, my friend? And
So
here
this
we
is
go.
what I have cobbled together.
Okay. Oh, look at you already have different color pens for the lake. Stepping it up.
Yes,
my
that's
friend.
why I was currently was shortly off camera for a couple of minutes ago because I forgot to grab the multicolor pencil pack.
I like it. I like it. So no specials for you.
Yeah, it's so that people know that it's the lake expansion, not the lava expansion.
Ah, yes, that's true. Because you have the lava. Is that the one with like meteors, or is that different?
Yes, lava and meteor are the expansions for the red edition from the original game.
Okay.
And the lava is basically you start with a volcano in the center of the board, and from there the lava is flowing. And you always have to draw at least one of the lava symbols, or and if you cannot, it's going to destroy something that you already draw. And the meteor is basically there are meteors crashing down on your player sheet, and every round there is rolled the direction, and the number of squares the next impact will happen. And it can happen that it will smash right into the center and ruin your completed 12 stations network. Yes. That can be you're always sweating. Oh, please don't. Not that space. Not that space.
No, please, no. Oh, gosh. All right, let's go back to the table now. Here we go. Round 2, everyone.
Chaka chaka tutu. So curved railway, head-to-head coupling. Lots of water. Okay, nice dead end. I like that one. The straight railway, and that's oh, that perfect. That's what I was hoping for.
The T highway. I saw your sheets. Yep.
Oh, no, that's round 2. Okay.
Hmm.
Also the curved one, which I also really like. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
You're rolling much better than I. At least for my gameplay.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess I could do this here. So I can do this here with my pier. Bloop, 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 bloop. And this is water. This is 2. And that is a rail to go off this way. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay. Oh, we have a raid, Tan. D-Walls. Hello,
Hi
everyone.
there, Raiders. Hello, D-Walls. How's it going?
Welcome in, friends. We are playing some Railroad Ink, the Deep Blue Edition. How is things going on your channel, D-Walls? Hello, Panda. I am joined by my good friend Tantauralus here. If he is the Railroad Ink king, I would say. Yeah, the
I wouldn't go so
physical
far.
edition.
Wim wins most of the games, not I. So
It's
he's better.
okay. It's okay. He might be better, but I think you have the upper hand and like more experience on all the expansions because I don't think he has all the expansions. But anyways, friends, we were playing the Deep Blue Edition with the Lake
No, I
Dice.
think he has also not been around when I played them. I might have not played all expansions.
Okay.
I think he's close to, and he might have played. I know of at least one he has played, and I have not played yet. The Underground one.
So yes, friends, if you're not following Tan, please give him a follow. I will also give a shout out to D-Walls. How were things on your channel, D-Walls? What were you playing today? You currently had some, you do a lot of digital implementations of games. Not sure if you're doing any more of the, Spirit Island digital anymore, if you've transitioned to another one. Playing Castles of Burgundy every Monday. Oh, that's awesome. Castles of Burgundy is quite a nice game. I have yet to play the it's been a while since I've played the physical game. I'm more of a Castles of Burgundy, the dice game type person. But again, roll and rights. So if you aren't aware with my branding, I'm pretty much known for a lot of roll and write games. So yeah, but welcome in, Raiders. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Yeah, the last week the roll and write version of My City was released.
Really? Oh, I enjoyed My City. Were you able to play that, Tan?
And no, I have not been able to play it. Dave and Ilka had been playing it on Saturday, if I remember correctly.
Yes. They did their whole campaign, I believe, with chat. I think they were, or at least had chat help them out, like make decisions on stuff.
And if I remember correctly, they played the game with chat on Saturday.
Oh, that's so great. They're so wonderful.
They shared one of the sheets and they played the game with them.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's also one of them on my lists to play on to get my hands on as soon as there is a way for me to share player sheets with my players, because there are some games I have which I would love to play more often on stream, but they're either with dice drafting or with no player sheet officially available, and that's hindering me to play them that often. That's basic. For example, paper dungeons.
Paper Dungeons.
The one from
Ellicat?
from Ellicat, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's in the cards for me to play Paper Dungeons this month, Tan. So, if you're able to get your hands on a player sheet,
I have the game since Essen. I had asked a buddy of mine to bring it with me.
oh sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna do my last one. Oh, that's from the second round. I have to remember. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get that to the table this month too, because all month, friends, for the month of May, I am playing Roll and Rights, which are my favorite types of games to celebrate my birthday month.
It is the May.
It is the May. So yeah.
I am the Tantauralus. It is the May.
Yay! Yay! Okay, so I did those 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did that one. Do I want to do another lake? I don't know if I want to do another lake. So I think I'm going to pass on that second die. Because remember, friends, you don't have to draw both. You don't have to draw both lake dice. You can draw just one. You can draw none of them. Yeah. That's right.
Oh,
did
you complete that lake?
I did. So it's a nice little 3-square lake.
which will mean that it's most likely the lake you will score points for.
Correct. Most likely. All right, Tan.
Most likely.
Most likely. Tan, how did you do on yours, sir? All right. See, Tan's got the upper hand here, friends, and he's actually coloring in his lake the blue color, which should be. I'm just doing squigglies because I don't have my colors, my color pens nearby. So, yeah.
So I went with a little riskier avenue because now I need a way to connect this part of the water of the lake with the other remainder. So I'm desperately hoping on some good dice rolls for the next couple of rounds.
Okay.
And I also got this extra square here down here filled. So,
Yes,
which will be of no use if I'm not able to connect these two because currently
true.
my smallest lake is size 1.
That's true. Because remember, friends, if you surround 3 sides of a space with water, you automatically fill in that central area with water. Enjoy your work lurks, James and Panda. Thank you so much for being here, friends. We are moving on to round 3. We are halfway through. All right. Ooh, we got some highways here, Tan. We got some diagonal lakes.
Highway to lake.
And we got a coupling station. So, yeah, we got 2 diagonal lakes, an L highway, a T highway, an L railway, and the coupling station. Well, okay.
Let me take a quick look at these dice.
Yeah.
I need to check if they're... No, not yours. I'm looking at mine. I need to know if there's a certain result on them that I would need then for everything to work. Let me double check this one. I think that one is not... Oh, wait. Let's...
Yeah, we have no overpasses yet, Tan. No overpasses.
No, not the overpass. It's about the lake ones. We do not have. So in the lake expansion, there are no dice results that are routes passing by the lake. If there are routes on it, they are always leading towards
a pier.
A pier, which means in this case, I either would create a dead end or I need. Okay, that's twice, once in a 6. Yeah, that should be statistically probable. Let's put it that way.
Tan's busting out some statistics on us, y'all. I don't know how I feel about that. He's very...
Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's good. Hi, Time Roller. Welcome in, my friend.
So a little fun fact. So I think yesterday and the day before, there was on Twitter a lot of people that were posting results for personality tests showing which types of personalities you are for the different types of TV shows and movies and the like.
Okay.
And I did take the test myself. And interestingly, when setting the results to Star Trek Next Generation, they were telling me that I'm close to Data. I like that.
Yes.
And for Deep Space Nine, it was Odo, which I'm also absolutely fine with.
I mean,
Buffy the Vampire Slayer was Childs. Also, yep,
yes.
Can see that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think Big Bang Theory, it was actually Sheldon.
Okay, so Tan, I could have predicted all of those for you.
See,
so I feel
I'm way too transparent. I'm either very good at showing a certain mask on stream,
no,
or you have figured me out.
I think I figured you out, my friend. Which is not a bad thing, because I remember when we were talking TNG, and I said we're more like Geordi and Data. Makes more sense because I feel like I'm more of a Geordi and you're more of a Data. So when we go to the holodeck to do our Sherlock Holmesian adventures, I feel like you would be better suited to solve the crime, and I would just
elementary, my dear Jess.
Yeah, Exactly right.
So,
See?
but I don't smoke pipes and I can't play the violin. So yeah.
But
And I
if you're on a
don't and I
holodeck,
don't
though, you could, right?
and I don't know a woman called Irene. Okay, we're on round three, correct? I
This is
might be.
round three.
Maybe I should start thinking about using specials. I'm now coming to that conclusion.
Yeah,
Um,
I've already used two of my
I'm
specials.
not that happy with those dice rolls of the white dice this round, to be honest.
Okay. Then I have
Not happy.
a curved rail.
Yep, curved rail. That's it.
Thanks, D-Walls. D-Walls is such a Samantha. I'm such a Samantha. So funny. Okay. Yes, I could do that. That's fine. I'll do this. Do 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 do.
That's the only solution.
I don't know. Do I want to do any lakes this time around? I don't know if I want to do any lakes. Maybe I could do a lake. I could do a lake, right, Tan? Because it does not have to go anywhere right now. I could. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, Tan. I could just draw a lake like this
Yes.
and hope for the pier with the highway going into it.
Correct.
Okay. So that's fine. So I will do that. Number 3.
Oh, just a second. I think I.
Oh, I think I will do this.
Yes.
Oh, Kate, thank you so much. Thanks for the sub.
Oh, hi, Kate. How's it going?
And I could do like this. Do 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 do. 3. This could be water here. Water everywhere. Kate was the lovely individual that made Tan's logo. So if y'all saw on the Instagrams and the Twitters today, when I made my little post for today. So yeah. We are having fun, Kate. Have you played Railroading? Kate, have you played it before? If not, you should definitely pop into one of Tan's streams and play along.
Yes, as soon as Kate is having a little more wiggling room and free time and is not as busy and successful as she's currently in regards to her profession. I think I will have Kate as a guest on the stream and
Yay!
And play something.
Yay! That would be fun. That would be fun. Even if
So
it's
let me-
something like Board Game Arena, you know?
Yeah, but then it would end up being Azul, and I suck at Azul. Kate is much better in that one because she has played it much more often than I myself.
That's fun.
So,
All right, Tan, what do you
Press the
have on
second
your
chest.
table?
No,
sorry.
please back. I'm still. Sorry, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I have to double check the one. This is the curved one. This is this one. This is
Hashtag
the
Team Azul,
intersection.
says James. Hashtag
Which
Team
means
Azul.
I need the curved, the curved, the curved, the curved. Hashtag not that happy. So let me double check this one. Curved highway, T intersection highway, curved coupling, curved over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. The special that was. Okay. Now I can show you.
Okay. Let's go to Tan's table, y'all. Let's see what we got. Hey, yours is getting there. It's getting there, Tan.
And now I need a certain result for this side, which is not that great, but it's on both dice and it's a 1 in a 6 chance per roll. And we are still having 3 rounds. So it's, as I said, highly probable that it will come up at least that one time and allow me to close off that part of the lake, which would automatically fill this one, which would automatically fill this one. And then that's great that's. But now I need something to connect this side, which is making me anxious, to be honest. Rather anxious, to be honest.
Okay, are you ready for the next roll, my friend?
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to be. There's nothing I can do about it.
All right. Let's see.
That's a railway water thingy, correct?
That is a railway water thingy, correct. Oh, there we
Okay.
go. Okay. Whew. Let's see. I needed the highway one though, Tan. I needed the highway.
And I actually would have preferred one with a coupling.
Okay, so if I did this.
And for whatever reason, coupling reminds me of Stephen Moffat. Stephen Moffat reminds me of Doctor Who, and that reminds me the new Doctor was just announced yesterday, and I'm really hyped.
Oh.
Looking forward for a new iteration of the Doctor.
I am so behind.
Yeah,
I'm so behind,
yeah, Ben.
Tan.
See, very shocked that Tantauralus he's telling he's a variety streamer. No. He's a Railroad Inc. hardcore streamer,
He's
obviously.
a Railroad Ink streamer. Welcome in, Ben. How's it going, my friend? Yeah. My goodness. Okay. So I did that one.
How am I going to do this?
But this is the first time y'all have seen me play Railroad Ink on stream. So this is a first for me. Whittling away at the 9 to 5. Well, we appreciate you, Ben.
I
Always.
cannot do this. Who earns?
Boo earns. Oh no, Tan.
Yeah, there's one thing which would be. I'm not sure if that would actually work. Because the thing with you have seen my lake, and if I place the diagonal lake at this place where I currently would like to place it, it would start to fill my lake from left to right.
Oh.
And I'm not sure what happens with that last piece, if that would fill.
Yeah.
Or not, because it would create an illegal match. And I don't think the rules cover that one.
Gus is like, does Tan need a reroll? I've already started drawing.
No, I need to be quick about it.
No, he's not. He's not going to take a reroll. He's not going to take it. No.
We are so alike. I was just thinking about the exact same song.
Yay! See? Jordy and Data! BFFs for life.
Perfect. I love it. I love it.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
What am I gonna do with this T-rail though? I don't know what to do with this T-rail. I think this T-rail is just gonna go
With this T-Rex?
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so oh, that one is the easy one for me, but the others might be an issue. Let me take another look. So that's a head-to-head coupling. Just straight. That used that one. So that leash. So that's this one, which leaves me with the not happy. Hashtag not happy.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Remember, you also have your specials, Tan.
Yes, I try to use them as late as possible when there are the contingency plan, the contingency 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will need to use one here. Okay, I could need some more T intersection railways and some more curved railways, please. Next round, thank you.
Okay. Okay. I will put that take that into consideration.
I quickly double check the last time that I did draw everything that has. Yeah, I think I've done. Okay. I'm able to show my masterpiece.
Wow. That's looking okay, Tan.
Still not that happy because
Yeah.
see what I was talking about is if I had drawn this one instead here, would have filled this square, which would then have filled this square, and then the thing is, I would have filled this square.
Oh.
And I don't think it would have made a difference. It
Yeah.
would have made it trickier to get many of those exits connected via here,
Right.
which is what I need to achieve, or else there will be two networks. So I had to pick this one, and I already know that I will need a special up here
Okay.
because there is no matching result on these guys.
Round 5. Round 5. We've got some straight highways. Oh, we have our first overpass of the game, Tan. Our first overpass of the game. Boom.
Not
Boom.
happy.
Boom.
But the water resorts are very to my liking. Lake is completed. Oh, let me double check. Is there maybe some extra points?
No.
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 Too bad. No extra points for closed lakes. Closed Lake City. So,
I don't like this. I don't like it. Don't like it anymore. Okay, well, I guess I gotta do that for the overpass. Jeez. I know I'm definitely gonna get some negatives there, but that's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles, they say. Okay. Ugh. And that's an overpass. Okay. But I can do this and take this here. Woohoo! Railway. This is getting dangerous. Okay, now I have all these highways that I can't.
are we on the railway or the highway to the danger zone?
That's the big question now, Tan. Rail highway. Well, boo to the urns, friends. Boo to the urns. Boo to the urns.
No.
Do you have regrets, Tan?
That curved highway is making.
Things tricky?
Yeah, it's. I need to. Yeah, it might end up with me having to cut off something that I would instead be able to connect next round. Okay, then I have to do something else. I have to use a different special at a different space and then maybe cut off that one top. Because then I need to. Yeah, that curved highway is costing me an exit. That's the shame about it.
I would really, really like the highway pier to the lake. Please and thank you, Dice.
Let me quickly double check. One, two. There's a straight railway which I have to use as well. It's going to prolong that exit that I also will not be going to get. Too bad, too bad. I'm currently at a max of 10.
Oh, well, can you use any specials?
I had to because I still had two specials to use, and when I having 2 rounds left of gameplay, you should use one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I knew last round where one position where I will need to use one. But this round I had it to use on another space because else the curve would have cost me at least 2 exits instead of 1.
Yeah. Can you force a reroll? Well, it's too late now, Panda. You could force a reroll in this last round. But yeah, you and Gus are bad influences, friends. Forcing chaos just on purpose. But you completed your lake, Tan.
I completed the lake, yes.
So, question then, if you only have one lake on your grid, is that still considered your smallest lake?
Obviously. Is there anyone that is smaller?
That's what I would count it as. So you essentially
Yeah.
have what is it, a 13 square?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Correct.
My goodness. My goodness.
And all of them are on the Santa 3x3 grid.
Tan.
It's as if I had planned it.
Or I was gonna say, is it as if you've played this game before?
Maybe once or twice. I haven't played as much Railroad Inc. as I have played Railroad Inc. Challenge.
Okay. So the only addition for Challenge, besides just base game Railroad Inc. is just the goal cards. Is that correct?
Railroad Inc. Challenge adds new symbols to the dice and slightly different distribution of the results on the dice.
Okay.
It adds the goal cards and it adds the special buildings. The factories, which allow you to draw a white die a second time, the university, which will unlock you a 4th special, and the villages, which will score you extra points, considering depending on how many villages you had been successfully connecting to your network via a station.
Okay.
So that's are the additions, and there is one change in the rules in regards to how to count the longest consecutive railways and highways.
So there's more to it. Got it.
Because now it's simply you have to stop as soon as you enter a square you already have been in. As well in Railroad Inc. Challenge, you are allowed to continue if you can move along a part that you have not yet been using.
Huh.
So basically in Railroad Inc. Challenge, you're like driving along the path.
Okay.
And if you're, for example, using the 4-way intersection, you can then use the crossing if you have not used. So you use that part, have used, you can then still use that part. And that's the main difference between how the thing. That's basically also because of the double curves. Because with the double curves, it's very likely that you enter the same square a second time for the second curve. And that's why they changed the rulings on how to count the longest consecutive railway and highway challenge.
Yeah, I rolled the highway pier. Yes. Woohoo.
Look, that's if you're putting rotate your player sheet, you have a heart-shaped lake.
I do. I was trying to think of that kind of look like Australia, but yes, it is more heart-shaped than Australia.
I would have loved to have had a curved railway, but no, thank you. You did not get me that one.
Nope, I did not. I pretty much did not do anything for myself either, Tan. So we are both kind of out of luck here, I think, my friend.
Yeah, it's Wheaton all over again.
Return.
I think Wesley was actually number 2 or number 3 on my next generation chart.
Really?
Yes,
Because
because
I
people
don't know
can
if I
be
agree with
annoyed
that.
by because people can be I'm fairly sure that's because people can be annoyed when I'm a smartest because they think I'm
Oh, okay.
derogative. That's the
Okay.
thing with that's the Sheldon thing because when you're telling people no, it's actually like this because you think it's important that it's like this, and people think you're condescending. And
Ah.
that's the Wesley, and that's also something that many people didn't like about Wesley. That's why they called it Wesley, shut up.
Hi,
Hi, Slivers.
hi, 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 Slivers. Enjoy your
And
record.
there used to be a Star Trek a Star Trek collectible card, no, customizable card game by Decipher, who also did the Star Wars game back in the 90s. And there is a card in it which has the name Wesley Gets the Point. It's scoring. So if you're having Wesley in your away team, Wesley dies and you score a point for it, and it's showing the picture from one of the scenes where I think it was a scene where Q sent them to a planet where there were these strange wolf-like aliens wearing the uniforms of the French soldiers in the
Okay.
Napoleon War, and where Wesley gets skewered on the bayonet, and that's Wesley gets the point, as in the point of the blade. And that's where showing how much
Oh, jeez.
Wesley was appreciated by the designers
Oh
of the
my gosh.
game.
Hi, Sir Bearsworth. What it do, locomotive booze? That's right. That's right. Tan and I are attempting to connect these, and I don't. Okay. I wish I could. I wish. Well, maybe I could do that. Could I do that? Oh
So fingers
goodness.
crossed I will not end up in the double digit for dead ends.
Did I do that? I think I could do that. Oh, I think I can. Cool. I will use my final special. Final special.
Straightway T. Cobbling.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Hey, legends! I
Hi,
appreciate showing
legends.
up for the hating
Aloha.
Wesley Crusher minute. I know. It's not Will Wheaton hate, it's the Wesley Crusher hate. Which I think it can be justified. That is very true. That is very true. Welcome in, legends.
Yeah, but yeah, the thing is, that's what I was thinking. Okay, we are talking about a fictional character. Nonetheless, bashing on people because they are not the way you want them to be, knowing that I have undergone such type of treatment in my school and at university, and had been also then treating other people the same way, and nowadays thinking I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that is very true. We
Yeah,
need to be
it's
kind.
just, so although it's a virtual character, you always have to keep in mind that it's hurtful against them.
That's very true.
And even if they are like Sheldon, a nip in the butt from time to time, they're still humans, and we should treat them with dignity.
Very true. Well said, Tan. Well said.
That's why if I ever say something inappropriate to anybody of you in chat or now on cam, Jess, as usual, I'm telling you, please tell me and tell me why you think it's inappropriate, and I will do my best to not let that happen ever again and apologize as well.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. What is a
So,
legend says Team Jess looking at Amanda Panda while saying it. Of course. Of course. It's Panda whenever her and I stream, Legends is always for the guest than Panda. But that's all just in good fun. Legends, how are things going with your game, my friend?
okay, so he's usually for the rooting for the guest.
Yes, He's usually
But
rooting
not
for the best.
today. Today he's rooting for the streamer.
Yes, he is today.
Okay, see? I did not collect karma points today, obviously.
So yeah, Legends, how is your game going? He is designing. He is currently in the works of designing his own card game. So
Oh.
it's very fun. He had a fun concept of, from what I remember correctly, and add to this if I'm misspeaking, Legends, but he was trying to get. It's kind of like a match, like a set collection game for board game Twitch streamers, and the goal is to match the three cards of that Twitch streamer collectively. And so he had us list down like what our top three favorite board games are, and each of us had written down like our username and our top three games, and then it gets shuffled into a deck. And so you're trying to set collect those top three games of each streamer. So it was
Okay.
a really, really interesting concept. So he's trying
Do
to
you know
more.
which game are the which streamer the games belong to? Is it like you have to remember which streamer
You
likes
have to
which
remember.
games?
I think that's why the whole it's kind of a little bit of like a memory match too.
Okay, so for me it would be boring. It would be Railroad Inc., Railroad Inc. Challenge, and anything.
Railroad Inc. With the UFO expansion.
I think actually the UFO expansion is the one which we were not able to play because oh, is it? Because it might be one of those where you need other players on the same physical room because you have to move around player sheets for shenanigans.
Oh.
So it either was that one, or the alien one might not have been the one where you need the spaceship to land on the places where you have placed your sheep, so that the aliens can steal the wool of the sheep, and that's cost you point. For whatever reason, those aliens like sheep wool.
I don't
know. Very interesting species of aliens, let's be honest.
All right, Tan, are you ready to reveal your table sheet?
I'm ready to reveal my sheet, yes.
Okay. Well, you have a couple dead ends, but that's okay.
A couple? Let's hope it's not double digits.
let's hope. But you have, oh my goodness, you have almost every exit connected on a network.
So this one is not connected because overpass. This one is not connected because no curve in the last round. And this one is not connected because I had to make a detour.
Yeah. Okay.
Or else it would have cost me these two exits. So it's a total of 3 not connected, which means I connect 9, which is 32 points.
Oh my goodness. This is insane. Okay, so let's go through your score, Dan, and then we'll go to my table and do my score.
So usually next I usually check my my dead ends, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if I'm not mistaken this time.
Yep, that's what I see too.
Seems correct, which is not great, but could be worse.
Yes.
I have all 9 in the center, which is 9 points. I have, as we said, already calculated 13 points for my lake.
Yes.
And now let's take a look. Okay, my railway is highly segmented. So I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that should be the longest one, 5. Which is also not that great. And my longest highway is most likely this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
Yeah, 6. Which is also not that great.
Hello, Lady T. Welcome in. Legends bought 4 board games over the weekend. Oh my gosh. Let us know what you bought, Legends. Because this weekend I bought Railroad Inc. Because I wanted to play it with Tan, and I thought I'd need a physical copy of the game. So, all right, let's go back to. So wait, your total.
That's a total of 59.
59 is the score to beat here, friends. Okay, here we go. So my exits for my longest network is probably this one down here, because this is its own little sub network here. But I'm adding together the 2 networks in total, all told. So I have, this network is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because the peers connect to one another. So it's 7 for 24 points. plus an additional 1, 2 exits for 4 points. So 24 and 4 is 28. Here, I'll write it on this other side because it's easier to see.
So you also have a total of 9 then, correct?
I had 9 exits, but they were not all together in one system.
So that's only 4 points difference between the two of us. So that you are still
close,
having good chances.
Okay, so my dead ends. I have 1, 2, 3, 3 dead ends. Yep, because that's a T. 4 up here with my overpass.
Yeah.
4 dead ends. I only see 4. Do you count any more?
I could tell you I'll count more, but that would be wrong and would be cheating. So yes, you're
I'll
correct.
count more. I
see
8, Jess. I see 8 over here.
8, 42. 42 is the number.
42 is the meaning of life and everything in it. Okay, so I've got 9 minus 4 on my dead ends.
Yeah. Life is a series of dead ends, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 7 out of the 9 for the squares. That's okay. And then my longest highway, I think, is here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, 7 is my longest highway. My longest railway is probably 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 with that station. So I think it's 4.
It's the upper one is 7.
Oh, because it counts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, 6. Wait, 1, 2,
yeah, because
3,
of my dead
4,
end.
5, 6. Yeah, you're correct. 6.
Okay. Thank you, Tan, for catching that last one. Okay, and then my lake is this one here. It's a 3.
No, the other one is 4. Oh, yeah, that's the smaller one. Pardon me, my mistake.
I mean, I could count the larger one. That's fine. No. All right, math. 28 and 7 is 35. Plus 6 is 41. Plus 7 is 48. Minus 4 is 44. Plus 3 is 47, friends. 47. So Tan, the railroading king, takes the cake this time. Takes the cake this time around.
Yeah,
GG's in
that's
the chat,
the
everybody.
large. I think the large lake was the one. But okay, that was basically 10 out of those 12 points, I think. But that made a huge difference. And the fact that you only had 2 networks. But nonetheless, for having played the lake expansion for the first time, you did a really good score.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep, GG's in the chat, everybody. GG's in the chat.
And you had less dead ends than myself, so that's always...
Yeah, dead ends are always
a great
helpful.
thing.
Okay, so I have my new board. Tan, how are you feeling, sir?
I would be up for another round using the river expansion this time.
Okay, so the rivers, everybody. River expansion, Tan says, is slightly easier than the lake expansion.
It's more straightforward, yes. Okay. So at least from my experience,
it is a little easier. So with the river expansion, friends, you cannot use them. The river spaces have to be connected with each other. So if you've ever played like the river expansion on Carcassonne, it's the same thing. River parts have to be connected to other river parts. Then, as well, the river wants to be dead ending on the edges of the board. Not to an exit in particular. They have to be dead ends to the other edges of the board. So in between your exits. So here, like somewhere here, or on one of these corners, or things like that. So same rules apply in that you don't have to draw any of the river dice when they get rolled. You have the option of drawing them. The only way that your rivers can be connected to other transits is if you have bridges. So we've got the rail bridge here. We've got a highway bridge here.
But not Ezra bridges.
Yes. So they're only also it's only going to be 6 rounds because we're playing with this expansion. You don't have to draw your rivers connecting to other pre-existing routes or rivers. So just like with the lake, you can draw them anywhere you want in hopes that they connect at some point. You cannot.
But still, you have to adhere to the usual. You are not allowed to create mismatches.
Correct. So I could not draw this river connecting here to this L-shaped highway. That would not
correct.
That would not be a correct movement. So you want your rivers to kind of border the edges because that's kind of how it's kind of like, do a little nice little elbow here and come back around. So when you check for errors, same rules apply. The edges of rivers do not count. They do count as an error.
Yes.
Okay.
The rivers do count as errors. The lake did not.
The rivers do count as errors. So you want
correct.
to connect your rivers to other river spaces or to the edge of your player grid. Then at the end, when you're scoring for the bonus, you will gain 1 point for each space of your river.
You're picking one of your rivers.
One of them, so not both. So basically, try probably your longest one that you want to run through. Then you will also gain 3 additional points if both ends of your river are connected to outer ends of your grid.
Yes.
So if you're able to run your river, blah, 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 and it goes all the way down here, for an example, you would get 3 additional points because it connected.
And that's one of the things where it could happen that the shorter river gets you more points in the end.
True.
You get to pick which one you want to count.
Okay. Anything else, Tan, that I have missed on the rivers?
No, basically that should be the same. Let me quickly double check the rule sheet. 6 rounds. You can, but do not need to draw them. They need to not to be connected as per usual. No mismatches. They count as dead ends, and you pick one of the rivers and get caught there. Yeah, that's
it.
the...
All right. So round 1, friends. Again, your first drawing of a die face must be connecting to an exit on one of these.
The first white die.
Correct.
You could potentially start with the blue one.
That's true. That is true.
But the first white one has to connect to a exit nonetheless. So you could not potentially go ahead and draw a river, the river with the bridge in the center, and then continue from there with the first white die. The first white die still has to connect to one of the exits, but then you could potentially start from the bridge.
Yes.
Oh, an overpass, round 1. Hooray.
Hooray. I know. Who rolled these? Okay, so I'm going to do this.
Will Wheaton wrote these, obviously.
Obviously. Okay.
So that's a highway bridge, correct?
Highway bridge, correct. And then an L-shaped river. So, Tan, have you ever watched on YouTube the videos of people in trains and they just show you like a train ride, like you're in like a passenger on a train car, just like driving through like countryside or cityscapes or anything like that? Have you ever watched those channels?
No.
I recommend it for just like relaxation or like work background noise.
Okay. To be honest, for me, that will not be relaxation.
Really? Why?
Simple. It's as simple as that. For 2 years now, I'm able to work from home. And 11 and a half years before that, when commuting to work, I spent 18 hours a week in buses and trains to go to work and home.
Okay.
So you can consider I could potentially go ahead and try to calculate how much time I spent on trains for that amount of time. And I am no longer in the nearest able to enjoy a train ride. It's like basically like a trauma. And considering that
Oh.
soon I might have to go back into office at least once or twice a week, which would basically mean me losing 4.5 to 9 hours of free time every week.
Mm,
I'm not looking forward to train rides ever again. Because that potentially could end my twitching career.
I
Just so a
see.
heads up, you
Dang.
everybody is not. It might be something stupid happening. So straight T
Yeah,
to
I
say
always thought there would be like
curve.
some of the landscape and stuff to go on a train, but if you have to commute for work, I can definitely see it as not being a pleasant experience. That is for sure.
No, because especially in the morning, the buses and the trains are filled with school kids.
Mm.
And if, for example, half of the train has a malfunction and they have to send a shorter train, their fish in a tin can have more space than you as a
Oh,
person
jeez.
in such a train. Um, and on the way back, it's usually the worker rush hour, so it's the train is filled with adults. So it's basically noisy and full and sticky all the time, and it's also not that interesting landscape to look at. Even if you, if you were interested in uh, and having some issue with my neck, it's also not that great to look to the side that much the whole time because that causes my neck muscles to tense up and me basically locking in and not being able to even move a mouse without having terrific pain.
Mm.
So that's also not that fun stuff. I'm happy if people can enjoy train rides and landscapes. So I don't want to yuck anyone's yum,
Yeah.
but for me it's no thank you.
Makes sense. You got to know what you like and what you don't like. So it makes total sense. All right, Tin, where's your player board? Let's see.
Although since I'm not no longer commuting that much amount of time, I'm way behind on my TV shows because I
Well,
usually
there's a
downloaded
lot.
stuff. Yes, so I still have to watch at least one episode. I have to start with Picard season 2 now.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I
Yeah,
just
we
finished
haven't
this.
started season 2 yet. We are waiting for the season to end so we
I
can watch it
think
at our
last
own
I
pace.
think last week was the finale of of season 2.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
So now there's enough. All
And I
right.
just yeah I decided to watch Moon Knight instead.
Yes, we just started watching it as well. It seems intriguing. It kind of reminds me if you ever watched the MCU show Legion.
No, that's on my list
Okay.
next to The Gifted and Runaways, which I'm currently
Yes.
watching. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, Tan, you've got a
Although
lot.
I recently started a rewatch of Person of Interest.
Ooh. We are also watching the old school show, The Librarians, if you ever watched that.
Yes, I know of that one. In Germany, it's called The Quest because the movies had been called that.
Oh, I didn't know there were movies.
Yeah, there were first two movies, and then if that's the one with the librarian and the group that is helping him out, the Asian guy, the female with the synesthesia,
Yes.
with the original what's the blue X-Men woman called, the
Mystique.
Mystique, yes, with the OG Mystique as the bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a fourth one, wasn't there? Or have that been three? And I see it's been a while since I last watched
Yeah.
that one. So originally it was two TV movies. I think the one is with the spare with about the Spare of Destiny, if I remember correctly, and I don't remember the second one. And then a couple of years later, they actually started with the TV show.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we're currently watching the TV show. It's on Hulu, I believe. And we're liking it. It's fun,
Yeah, I like
like historical
I,
heists,
I like those types of shows. I loved Relic Hunter back in the day with Tia Korea, and for example, it's one of my favorites on this type. And the Quest is a nice one. Another one which I recommended to you, and I know you enjoyed quite a lot, is Hooten and the Lady,
Yes.
which is sadly only a single short
Ugh.
season. I would have loved for that show to continue because
Same.
it's such great thing. And once again, it's I like these adventure type shows because it's great escapism. And if they're done well, they can teach you a lot about cultures and ancient and stuff like that, especially ancient cultures like the Egyptians and the like. So that's always a great thing, which I quite enjoy.
Yeah. That was a good one. I am bummed that they never picked it up for more seasons.
So for anybody that is in adventure, archaeological stuff, and like a little bit of mystery sometimes, you should go and check out Hooten and the Lady. It's on Hulu in the US, correct?
We actually had to watch it on a different service called Plex TV.
Okay, I'm not sure
So
because
I don't
where it's
know if it's
currently in
on
the US.
Hulu.
In Europe, I think in Europe it's might now because it's on Hulu might be.
Yeah, but it was only one season, and Tan was like, this show is really wonderful. Though he did give us the premise, did give us this disclaimer, I should say, the disclaimer of telling us it was only one season.
Lady
And
Taka, to answer your question, yes, you are allowed to rotate and flip the symbol to draw it on the player sheet. You are not stuck with the way it's gotten the die is placed after a rolling. So you basically can rotate them and you can flip them. And also, as you have not been with us, there are 6 specials which are 4-way intersections, and 3 times during gameplay you can pick one of those and draw them. You can pick each of them only a single time. So we have
ugh, I'm having regrets, Tan, on this. I'm having regrets on this.
I have to I might have to double check on your player sheet in a second because I think I might have forgotten to draw one of the wide ones in round 1. So for round 1, we did have a straight railway, correct? And the overpass?
We did. We had the overpass as one. We
Yeah.
had
The highway T intersection was round 1.
yes.
Okay. That's why because I messed that one up. And yeah. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 round 1. 1, 2, 3. Which leaves me with a curved one this round. Just a second.
Yeah, and friends too, if you have any questions about this game, about the expansion we're playing, please feel free to ask. Do not hesitate to ask. Like Lady T, it's a safe space here, friends. You can ask questions, and there's
Correctly.
never any dumb question to ask. So
yeah, and yes, I'm always welcoming people to ask questions because it's important to understand the rules. Only if you're able to understand the rules, everybody is on the same page. Everybody has the same opportunities, and everybody can enjoy the game. And that's therefore there, as you said, there are no stupid questions. Only stupid people that say that there are stupid questions. There are no stupid questions. Absolutely not.
All right, Tan, are you drawing?
There might be rhetorical questions, but
Yes.
that's also not a stupid question.
That's true. All right, are we gonna show your table here real quick, Tan? Okay. Okay, so this one you're tackling a little differently. You're coming from all different exits.
Yes, because of the dice rolls.
Okay.
The thing is, up here, because there's this river, and the river you can only cross the river with the straight bridge.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if I want to get that river as long as possible, I might not be able to finish it because it might hinder me connecting. So connecting the exits is nonetheless always the number one priority. And therefore you should try and find ways to place at least for my experience, to place the symbols in a way that they are as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
And not being placed in a way, oh, it's helping me up here, but it makes it difficulty to expand from there.
True.
I could use it down here more. So that's why
True.
in this case, although the curves are the ones that have drawn down here because there's no else where I can currently smartly draw them. Because I could, for example, I could have started down here and
Right.
used them here like this or like this. And then I need some T intersections to be able to connect that stuff up here. So that's why I decided to do this instead.
Okay. Let's see what round 3 does.
Well, that's also always usually a thing which I do on my streams, just talking about why I do certain things. Makes it more interesting for the people that are not actively playing along. And by chatting more, we might be getting more distracted.
But Wim's not even here, though, unless he's lurking, and he hasn't said hello yet. Yeah, that's quite funny. All right, so we have a curve river, we have a rail bridge over a river, another overpass, 2 T rails, and a L-shaped highway. Oh, goodness. Why am I rolling so many overpasses now? This is bananas.
2 bridges over troubled water.
This is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Okay. I need
NAS. NAS reminds me of NES. How did you and John's foray into tennis?
Oh my gosh.
End up in the end last week.
Oh my gosh, Tan, it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I believe that.
Tan,
no
for those
doubt
that
about
know,
that.
I often guest on Book of Nerds channel on Monday mornings, and last week he and I decided to dive into Switch Nintendo Online, and we were playing some old school Super Nintendo and original Nintendo game system games. A lot of them which were sports related. We did tennis. Yeah, so Bearsworth, you're being modest. You're being modest. We were terrible at playing tennis because the response time from you clicking on the actual controller and the actual player on the screen hitting the tennis ball was way off. Not calibrated by any means, but I think it was just the technology. But it was very entertaining for those that were interested in learning more about that. You can watch Book of Nerds channel. Yeah, he is a wonderful friend of the channel and a wonderful part of our community. And so, yeah, we had a lot of fun playing that game. But yes, we were terrible tennis players. Terrible tennis players.
I'm also a terrible tennis player.
So Bears
Did you play?
The lag was to give the game a chance to score points against you. I guess. I have no idea.
It wasn't the game's fault.
It wasn't the game's fault. No, we were just terrible at tennis. Did we play what, Tan?
Did you play anything else after that one?
Yes. So we tried a couple different tennis iterations. And then we decided to transition. We did some original Mario Brothers. We played some Mac and Joe, the caveman 2-player adventure game. And then we ended up with the Peacekeepers, I think it's called. It's a side scroller where enemies come out as you're scrolling from the left-hand side. And we actually were pretty good about combating each other. We did
Okay, I
some like
don't
one-on-one
think.
combat, but the
Mhm.
Peacekeepers was one that we were actually doing pretty decently on. So
I actually can't remember if I ever heard, saw, or played that one. To be honest, it
yeah,
might be had been released under a different name in Europe, or
yeah,
maybe with even changed animated people.
possibly.
Yeah, for example, the one of those great tunes from your stream starting intro, Contra,
Yes.
the game series Contra. Because in the original Contra series, you are basically Rambo-like soldiers running through the jungle and shooting at other people, and that was difficult back in the day in Europe and especially in Germany, because we're having something over here which is officially office which is to rate movies and TV shows and video games,
Okay.
and to deem if whether or not they might contain stuff that is against German basic law and or decency. So, for example, they are the cause because the original uncut Indiana Jones movies
Uh-huh.
had been rated 18 in Germany. So
Oh,
you had to
wow.
be of legal age to be allowed to watch them, and because of the violence in it. And then also all the scenes where they were showing the flags of a certain group,
Yes.
they did cut out because that was not allowed to show in Germany.
Interesting. Okay.
Other movies, for example, are so a movie can land on a certain index, which means it is not allowed to be advertised. It's not allowed to sell sold to people under the age of 18, which is the legal age in Germany. And you can only get it in a store by asking them if they have it available. You are not allowed to sell it openly in the store.
Oh,
So people
interesting.
have to come to you. So, for example, the first, what is it, the one with the bugs, the space movie with the Starship Troopers, for example, is one of
Yes.
those
Yes, yes,
movies.
yes.
The same is had been for a while with the first movie of the from Blade. The
Mm.
uncut version was on the index. You were not allowed to buy it publicly, although at the start it was officially sold before it ended up on the index. And
Yep.
there had only been a 7 or 8 minute shorter cut that was rated 16 that was allowed to be sold.
Goodness.
Yes, Lady Taka, not even advertised. So people are not so it's to prevent youths which cannot fathom the depth of the violence, the imagery and stuff like that. Yeah, it's uh, although there are some movies that are even not allowed to be sold. So there is the and which have to be recalled, which means
Mm.
that if there are somewhere in shops around, they have to send them back and they will get destroyed.
Jeez.
For
Lots of
another game,
restrictions in Germany.
yeah, it has gotten better in the last decade. They
Oh,
are no
good.
longer that strong, especially with this certain imagery, because they're
That's
now
good.
saying that it's long enough and people are now should be able to
Decipher.
be better grasping. So Germany is no longer that frightful of the way the world watches them if they are publicly displaying a symbol of a certain group that has been causing terrible pain all over the world.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi,
Raina.
Raina. Welcome in.
And for example, the
Tan.
same thing
Are
can
you ready
also
to
happen
show
to
your table yet?
just a second.
Okay.
Video games, for example, GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64
Oh my gosh, I love that game.
had
Okay.
been put on the index and was not allowed to be sold in Germany.
Wow.
The same with the mercenary mode of Resident Evil 4. They had to
Wow.
remove that one from the German release.
Wow.
Let me double check this one. We're in
I
round 3,
played that
correct?
all the time. Yes, this is round 3. How are you doing, Raina? Welcome in. Happy Monday, friend. Were you able to finish? Speaking of video games, Raina, were you able to finish the new Kirby game? I know you were playing it quite a lot last week. That's so crazy, Tan. That's so crazy.
I think Reina currently is stuck in the new release of Switch Sports, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, right, because that got released recently, too.
Okay, so sorry for the prolonged chatter instead of finishing my turn. So I'm now done, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Oh, not yet done with Kirby.
So the next 3 rounds, I will have to draw specials because I have not yet drawn any of them.
What it do? That's right. Okay, so you've got your river going on. You've got your river.
Yes. But that's most likely going to change now. The
Yeah.
dice rolls will most certainly start to mess with me.
Okay, let's see. Everything looks good for mine. I don't know what I'm doing on this one. I thought I had a plan, but I don't currently have a plan. And it's halfway through the game, so let's see
Yes,
what
as
happens.
I said, I now have to remember that I need to use specials.
All right, Tam, so we have 2 straight highways. We have a T railway and a straight station, coupling station, and then a straight river and a curve river. No bridges this time around. Okay, running around. Raina's doing some errands and groceries. Well, I hope you have a safe day, my dear, wherever you are doing. Ooh, that's a good question. Are the Mario Kart expansion tracks worth the price of it online? I don't know. Have you gotten into the new Mario Kart tracks yet, Tan?
I have because I have the so there is the Nintendo Online, and which unlocks you basically not only the online features and the cloud saves, but also the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo NES and the NES games.
Yes.
There is an upgrade to that one, which basically costs you more per year. But I'm having a family one, which means everyone that is using it currently pays €1 a month. So okay. So that's not that large of an issue, which not only added the N64 and the Sega Genesis, what was it? The Germany it was called Mega Drive, the one of the second generation Sega system. Not sure
Okay.
what the English term was.
Sega Genesis?
And yeah, Genesis, correct. And in addition, it unlocks the Animal Crossing DLC for free.
Wait,
which I was then
the Paradise
the happy home, correct. As long as you're having access to that subscription plan, you're getting the expansion, can use the expansion for free. Which in my case meant that all my family members, especially I myself with my account and the account for my mom's console, got it for free. So that was where I already said, okay, it's smarter for me to upgrade it. And now everyone that also has the upgraded one subscription also can gets access to all the Mario Kart DLCs while they're having that subscription.
Awesome.
And I think I'll go and fair with that because I'm still rather angry that back in the day I bought the DLCs when Mario Kart 7 was on the Wii U and then had to pay the complete price again for Mario Kart 7 Deluxe on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, wow. So Raina says if you play with people that have the bonus tracks for free, you can play them. Or no, have the bonus tracks, you can play with them for free.
Correct. Yeah, that's another great thing. So I basically, whenever I could, when I would host, like say, Arena, or anybody that has the expansions would host a game, everybody else, even if they do not own the expansion, can play the courses, which is a great thing because usually I would not have thought that Nintendo would be so
open to that,
generous in regards to that. But I think Nintendo discovered that they need to find something that people are willing to pay the monthly fee for the online course.
Yeah.
Because if you consider comparing that to the subscription models of Sony and Microsoft, where you get a lot of free to play games in addition, and Nintendo has to up the ante to be able
Compete.
to compete with the core, with what commonly referred as core gamers.
Yep. Yep. That's really cool though. I want to do another Mario Kart online stream, so or interaction with Reina. So Reina, if you're thinking about doing another Mario Kart stream and inviting chat to play, I would love to play with you. Because I want to try those new tracks. These just seem fun. Tan, I'm having regrets here, my friend. I'm having regrets here. I think I'm gonna
Once again, welcome to live.
Right?
No, wait. Oops. Sorry. I have to do some changes. I have to do some changes.
No regrets.
Because I
Yeah.
just saw that this overpasses.
So Bearsworth says he's conflicted because with the Monster Hunter DLC coming out, he'll be back online, but he's not sure if he wants to splurge on the premium pass or not. Yeah. Yeah, Reina doesn't like buying more than the expense online, but it depends on what you're looking for. True, that's true. If you feel like you can utilize the expansions, then cool. If you're not sure, then you just have more opportunities to join with others.
Another thing, what a lot of people do not know, the online the online subscription not only has the solo but also the family mode. It's called family mode.
What is that?
But you are but you're what it means is that basically you pay for up to 8 people that use that subscription.
Okay.
And it does not have to be family members.
Oh.
Can be friends. So if you and 7 friends wanna pool your money, you could basically get the $40 a month normal, 60, a year, 60 a year for the upgraded one.
Interesting.
So divide that by 8, and then everybody is paying a little amount of money, and everybody has the effort of the subscription as long as it's running.
Yeah. That's fun. It's like getting a cell phone with a family plan. Tan is deep in thought now, friends.
Yeah, I had to do some changes because, and that's the big thing, overpasses are not connecting stuff.
They are not. They are not. I am realizing I need. Yeah, so I need a station here. I need a bridge with a railway here. It's
so this I have to double check. We have that one is missing. Now I need to find a way. So let's do this.
All right, James, have a good work and lurk. Thank you for coming in. Reina asked, do you have to share your account and email information or something in order to do the family plan? Do you know?
No, you need. I'm not sure. I think you need at least the account name. So you should not do it with complete strangers, but only with people you trust. Because you have to. You have to send the invite via the web page. You cannot simply do it on the Switch itself. So you might need an account name for that sharing.
Got it.
And Reina, what I can understand that you want to pay once for the expansion, but the thing is, what I'm always afraid with, the expansions are only digital ones, and Nintendo is really quick on pulling the trigger on the server availability of A, the online mode anyway, and B, you being able to download it after a certain amount of time. So if you're not backing up your Switch, for example, and Nintendo pulls the trigger on the download service, doesn't help you that you have paid for the expansions. If you need to reinstall it, you will have no chance of reinstalling it.
So would you suggest backing up, Tan, with an SD card? Is that how you would do it?
I haven't done backups with the Switch yet, to be honest.
Okay.
And because another thing is with the cloud service, you can get your saves updated in the cloud.
Yeah.
As long as you're paying for the subscription mode, and if you're not, then you have no access to that one. So you might have to always think if you not better try to make another backup.
Got it. Are you ready to show your map yet, sir? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Here we go. Okay. Oh, your river took a U-bend.
Yes, I took a U-turn. Yeah, but the thing is, exactly, I have some. Sadly, I forgot to download all the stuff that I bought in the Wii
Yeah.
eShop after I've transferred it to the Wii U, because now that the Wii U download shop is down, I can no longer download that stuff.
Yeah.
Same, by the way, with the 3DS, which is another great thing, which is not that happy. I'm not that happy about. Because of, I think I bought the Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer standalone for that one on the
Right.
thing, and I'm not sure if I downloaded that one. Not that I'm using that console at the moment, but it's always, that's the downside to buying the games digitally. It might happen that you have no longer access to them.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Why must things be so hard? Says those browers. I know. I know. Well, if life was easy, then we probably wouldn't enjoy it as much, I would think.
And yes, I also usually prefer having physical games, but not as long as Nintendo is not capable of having a good price policy on those. And over in Germany, used games aren't as nearly as cheap as people think. Most of the time, it's still 90% of the retail price. So why should I buy a used game?
The digital implementations are they comparable in price?
So it's depending. So Nintendo, for example, you already sells their games cheaper on their shop.
Mm-hmm.
They usually do not have that often any discount, and if so, it's not that high.
Yeah.
Most of the time, during that time, you can get the physical module cheaper than buying the digital one from Nintendo. But with the other publishers, it's different, and there are also not to keep in mind there are some games that are only published digitally. Like for example, Stardew Valley originally is only digital release. There is a special limited edition release from I think Fan Gamers or something like that that released a physical version of Stardew Valley. But usually Stardew Valley is only available digital, which I don't mind. I think I've bought that game 3 times, at least 2. I bought it back in the day on PC, and as soon as it came out on Switch, I bought it on Switch again.
All right. I need to do something with this river here.
I'm done with my river. I'm fed up with it.
I am done with this river, says Tan. Forget this. Okay.
Dun dun dun.
I am not getting the bridges I need, so goodness me.
Round 5 it is, correct?
Correct. We are in the penultimate round here.
The thing is, back in the day when Stardew Valley came out, I bought it. I put it on my laptop, connected my laptop to the TV in the living room, and got a controller and said, "My mom, here, you want to play this game?" She started to play, and half an hour later, she told me that I need to write a manual how she can start up the PC, the laptop, and the game so she can play it.
That's awesome.
And from there on, she played it every single day. And that was because as soon as it was released on Switch, I rebought it. And I think she played 500 and something hours in that game.
My goodness, that's a lot. That's really awesome, though, to have, like, my mom is a gamer. That's really cool. Oh no, what did I do?
1, 2, oh, the curve.
In Stardew Valley Legends, Tan's mom was doing 500 hours.
On the Switch alone. The PC version, easily the same one. And she would have played much more if she had not gotten ill, and as well played easily 3 times that number in Animal Crossing on the 3DS. As well as all the multiple iterations of Harvest Moon. My mom was a huge fan of those types of games.
Ugh, good gravy. Good gravy. What am I doing on this one? Okay, I have to use a special now because this is just not working out. So, I'm going to do this. Yeah. Sir Bearsworth also loved Harvest Moon games, which is odd because he doesn't like Agricola very much. uh, yeah.
I really like playing Agricola, but the game has some design issues, in my opinion. It's too much depending on the cards you get at the start of the game.
Mm.
And the other issue is that it's highly dependent. It's not a great game to play for the discrepancy between people that have played it a lot and people that have played it rarely or just are learning it is too large. So
Mm-hmm.
that might be difficult for people to have fun playing it with people that are much more uh, have much more experience with the game.
True. Legend says one of the guys here, his mom's plays World of Warcraft. So it's funny to hear my friends tell him that they played with his mom today.
Yeah, my mom was never great into 3D stuff. So she had, in fact, there's another game which I thought you would really like, which is My Time at Porsche.
Okay.
Just another Stardew Valley, semi Harvest Moon like game.
Uh-huh.
But she had huge difficulty with the free 3D camera. So if it would have been a fixed camera, it wouldn't have been an issue. But moving around and also having to move the camera freely was a big issue for her. But that also was shortly before she was diagnosed, so that might have something to do with that.
True. Are you ready to show your table, Tan?
Yes, I think I am.
Ooh, okay. Man, I need 2 more river pieces to fall into my favor so that my river can be connected. But yeah, otherwise, I don't think I did very well. But you have very nice. Yeah, yours is working out very better than mine was. So yeah, okay. We are in the
Once
final
again,
round.
most likely the that I have much more experience.
True. Practice definitely helps with strategy and placement and yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, we're in the
Because
final round.
although it's harder for me to play the original game nowadays because there are certain combinations of results which I have to always remember. No, keep in mind these type of T intersections that are one type in, 2 types out do not exist. So that makes it more tricky for me. Yeah, I said it, tricky.
Tricky. Oh, okay. So there's no bridge. That's fine. I'm just gonna curve it here then.
Not happy. That's the last round, correct?
This is the last round. I have not played Explorers yet, Legends. I have heard a lot of good things about it. I do want to try it. For sure. I have not
That's
played
the
it yet.
Ravensburger, if I remember correctly, is the publisher,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah.
I think that's the one
Yeah.
with the tiles, where you can draw on with a dry erase marker. If I remember correctly.
Yes, it is Ravensburger, says Legends. Yes.
Hmm. Too bad. Too bad. And this time it's 4 exits that I will not be able to connect.
Oh, I could do this. Yay. I could just make a little circle roundabout highway here. Goodness. Okay. Well, yeah.
Wait, which one did I use in round 5?
I also want to play the um, the Explore and Draw Isle of Cats expansion.
I'm also waiting for that one being available at my usual go-to online store. I was thinking about backing it back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
but then I decided to not do so instead on because I had to spend money for different things. And I'm also thinking of going with the other expansions. Uh, I was thinking because I own Isle of Cats, the original game, and the expansions, but I own the German version, which means it's not that great to mix the English version in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think the backside of the cards is not compatible because I think the German version tells Insel der Katzen, while the
Mm-hmm.
English version would say Isle of Cats. So you could basically see them on the backside. And I know I do not want to buy. I like to sleeve cards for my board games, especially if there's a lot of shuffling. But I do not like to sleeve them in sleeves with opaque backside.
Ah, got it.
Legends, I have played track 12. I've
Yes.
also played it on stream once,
Yep.
as well as on Board Game Arena. It's a it's a nice game. It has also enough luck in the die rolls, but enough uh, mitigation and planning
True.
ahead.
True. True.
The
True.
Steam Up Rainer, that's the one with the dim sum. No, the one not dim sum is not there. The Asian foods in the steaming pots, correct? In the bamboo
Yes.
steaming things.
Yep. 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 Yeah. Steam Up looks like such a cute game, Rena.
Yeah, it's one of those great things where a thing which I really dislike about games is board games, especially, is when the
Nothing. I like
theme.
nothing about board games that I dislike, Tan.
Now,
Just
what I
kidding.
no, the thing is, I dislike it when theme and rules do not fit each other.
True. Yeah.
So often I have come across games where the publisher was enforcing a certain theme on a game that originally had a different theming.
Oh,
And
right.
then theme and rule mechanics do not match each
Yep.
other. And
Yep.
that's massively tempering with my fun and experience I'm having with the game.
All right. Are you done drawing, sir?
Just a second. I think it's a single one
Oh,
that I had
shoot.
to.
Oh man, I have more dead ends than I thought I did. Oh, boo. Dang it.
Yeah, your fault. You did roll the dice, not me.
I know, right? I can only have
This
myself
time,
to blame.
it's so great finally being able to play Railroad Inc. and nobody is blaming me for the dice rolls.
I only have myself to blame. Yeah, it's your fault. Yep, that's right, Lady T. Only have myself to blame.
Oh no,
My goodness.
it's Lady slash Lord Luck.
Yeah. My goodness. All right, are we gonna tally up your score, Tan?
We can do so. Let me quickly go to this one.
Okay.
So there, this exit is not connected. This exit is not connected. As well, these two are also not connected. I'll leave it another straight Ortiz intersection over here. So
Okay.
that's a total of 8. And now let's securely double check because these two are part of interception overpasses, but yeah, they are connected to the network. So that's 8. That's a total of 28 points this time, which is
Okay.
hurting. Next, let's do the dead ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's again 6.
Yes.
1, 2. Okay, if we play the third game, I imagine I would also get 6. Beast mode. Okay, so let's take a look at the river next. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
And connected to the border, which is an extra 3, which means that's 12 points.
Nice.
I have filled 8 out of 9 from the center 3 by 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
So
I
that's
count seven.
7 for longest highway. And this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. That's
It's great.
8. Okay. So that's 28 plus 7 plus 16 plus 12 minus 6. 57 points this time.
Okay. What did
So
you get on last game, Tan?
59 it has been last game.
Okay.
I have the same amount of dead ends. I have 1 point less from the expansion, but I also lack 4 points from the goats this time,
All right. So let's see.
which hurts.
I have 1, 2. So let's see. I don't have this one. This one is not done. This one is not done. And this one is not done. Connected. But this is connected here. 1, 2, 3. So that is 8 points. And then this other one is connected here. 1. Yeah, because of the overpass, but it looped around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 20 plus 8 is 28 again. Oh, geez. All right. Then for my dead ends, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dead ends. Minus 7. Ugh, okay. I did 7 out of the 9 in the center grid. So that's 7 there. My longest highway, I didn't get very long on this highway. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is 5 here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5
6.
on my highway.
Your longest highway is 6. It's the top one.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you, Tan. You are correct. 6. Okay. Railway.
And railway?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I count 5.
5 seems correct to me as well.
Okay. And my river, I connected the river to the edges. So that's a plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I also got 12 on my river.
Whenever I read Explorers today in chat and Phil Walker Harding, I think, wait, it's Matthew Dunstan and it's Explorer, Guild of Merchant Explorers. Then
Yes.
oh wait, no, it's the other Explorer
Voyages.
game.
Voyages, yeah. He's done a lot of water travel games. Okay. 20.
No, but there is the Guild of Merchant Explorers, which is the new one by Matthew Dunstan, and I think the one he did with
Brett Gilbert.
the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
34, 39.
Did we have a board game stream without talking about food?
We did. My goodness, Tan. What did we do here?
No, don't know. No clue.
39, those cancel out. 39 and 12 is 51. So 51. I did slightly better on this expansion.
Yes.
Than the last one. So GG is in the chat, everybody. So Legend said he bought Explorers, Canvas, Creature Comforts, and Deep State New World Order. And now he's getting a bagel and cream cheese. Very nice. Yeah, I think Legends is on his lunch break right now, so. GG's in the chat, everyone. All right, let's go back up to the top view. So I will have to say, even though I did slightly better on the river expansion, Tan, I felt like I was more, I understood more of the lake expansion than I did the river. I don't know why. It just made more sense to me. I liked both, but I feel like if I were to play in the future, I would probably want to play the lake expansion.
I also prefer the lake over the river.
Yeah.
Because the As I said, it's simply the lake is a little easier to grasp for players. It's straightforward. The only thing you have to keep in mind, there's only a single result on each die that would allow you to cross the lake with a certain type of route.
Uh-huh.
So the chances of getting a bridge when you're in desperate need of a bridge, let me tell you, not going to happen.
Yes.
Especially if I'm going to roll the dice. Um, so that's it. It's easier to understand, but it's also not that interesting because there's not much of strategizing and contingency planning with them with that one.
Yes. I feel, yeah, I don't know, like that river, I was hoping for the bridges and they never came up with bridges. I had a lot more rolls of just river spaces, nothing with bridges
And
on them.
and that's another thing with the river expansion, because the river expansion it's basically simpler, but there's the tricky thing is you have to always keep in mind that you need to place your other routes in a way that you either do not need to cross the river, or that you know exactly how many chances you will have to get the matching uh, bridge road.
Yeah.
So that's it. And the thing is with the lake, it's a little trickier to think about, but it's easier than as soon as you start to get your head wrapped around it. It's more straightforward and it gives you more options to work
Yes.
with. It's
I
not
think
simply,
that's
yeah,
why
okay,
I like it.
these results are useful or they are totally not useful with the
Yeah.
river most of the time. It is okay. I might be able to place it there. Then I could get this happening there. It's you can use the dice rolls are more usable even if they're suboptimal
Yeah.
rolls. That's at least from my experience with the lake expansion. So I prefer the lake expansion over the river expansion, but I prefer both of them over the ones in the red box.
Ooh, okay. So, are there always two little mini expansions in each of the color of the base games?
Each base game comes with its own two double dice expansions.
Okay.
So the blue one which we saw today is the Lakes and River, and
Yep.
the red one from the original series is the Lava, which basically has a volcano,
Yep.
and like the lava, and you have to create lava lakes, and you try to place them in a way that they are not destroying stuff off you, but you
Yep.
also try to have an as large as potential one, and you need to draw at least one of the lava dice symbols. So that's the main difference. You can start another volcano,
Okay.
but that's the thing. And with the meteor, as I said, it's randomly checking where the next meteor will hit your player sheet, and if there's something that one gets destroyed, and that space is also done. You can never ever override and get rid of the meteor
And then what about the
crater.
yellow? What's the yellow one do?
So the Railroad Inc. Challenge also both come with their own set of expansions. Also keep in mind the Railroad Inc. Challenge boxes only are for up to 4 players, not up to 6 players. That's one of the other differences.
Mm-hmm.
The Shining Yellow has the Oasis expansions, where there are dice with cactuses or cacti
Okay.
on them,
Okay.
and Oasis, and suns on each of the dice, a single sun. And whenever a sun is rolled, each cactus gets destroyed if they are not adjacent, orthogonally adjacent to an oasis. So you need
Hmm.
to use those dice to place the cacti adjacent to oasis so that they won't get destroyed as easily. And at the end of the game, as a special, you'll roll a single die to see if there is another draft that causes cacti to perish. And the next one is the other one in the yellow one is the Canyon, which is the only expansion, if I remember correctly, where you do not draw the symbols on the square, but on the border between two squares.
Okay.
So basically, you have canyon walls that you draw, and you can use points to build ramps.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
you have only a certain amount of points you can spend for those ramps. I think that's a maximum of 9 or something like this. You simply mark it off by crossing off squares under the table for the how many points you get when you um, score your networks. So that's
Okay.
basically the extra track. So these are those two. I've only played the Canyon once so far. Not sure yet of what I think of it. I've played the Oasis twice. It's okay. I prefer the yellow expansions over the red ones.
Got it.
Although also both are more. And the
Well,
green
I
one, which you
have the
have,
green
is
one.
the forest,
Yes.
which is a really nice one. Which does not reduce the number of rounds, if I remember correctly, because I think there's only forests on those dice.
Yeah, there's forest and
And,
trails.
and the trails expansion is an interesting one because it's a third type of route which you can use to connect your stations. So it's basically like there's the train stations or the highway stations that people can step out and then hike along a trail.
Okay.
And these trail dice, you use them to connect as many stations with each other. So
I like
it's
it.
not connecting exits, but it's connecting stations. And you're using the same table, if I remember correctly, as with the stations,
Okay.
with the exits.
So I like
It's
these boxes as well with those. I mean, Gus and I definitely picked the colors that appeal to us, like blue, like the ocean, and rivers and forests and trails. That's like totally like our area of expertise. So that's really good to get to know that the expansions are also different depending on which game that you purchase. So
yeah. So the only downside to multiple base games is that it's using up more space on your shelf. There
but
was a huge
you didn't
discussion,
have
especially
that
on the
issue
Kickstarter.
because you bought the big box.
Yeah, but the big box could be smaller if the base games would be smaller. And the other downside is that you basically get a set of extra white dice, which you usually don't use.
Yeah, okay.
The pro side, more expansions, more players that can play along using the official
Right.
player sheets and dry erase markers. And with the Railroad Ink Challenge in addition, each of the Railroad Ink Challenge base games has a different set of goal cards in it.
Yeah. And you can have this play multiple players remotely with the multiple games. So this was awesome, Tan. I'm so glad we were able to do the base game and both expansions. So now, friends, if you do not own this game, I'm going to pop into the chat the play along, but it will bring you right to the website for Horrible Guild, so you can get yourself a copy of it. So now you have seen a full thing with the two expansions built in.
Another thing to keep in mind, there is an implementation on Board Game Arena for the original. And there's also a really great official Steam application that has been released last year.
Very cool.
Which now also has the expand. So it's basically the base game of Railroad Ink Challenge, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And the expansions for the lush green and the shining yellow one are the DLCs.
Oh, okay.
But you should, if you're into, and it's really great interface, quick to play. I think it's also available on iOS and Android. So if you like the game, you should maybe from time to time check the stores of Steam, Android, and iOS because Horrible Guild often has sales, and maybe
and Steam
go and
does too often. They often have Steam
and
sales.
go and get the digital one for a cheap buck because it's worth it. Period. Yeah. It's my honest opinion. If you liked what you saw today and think that game might be something for you, you should try that one out. Maybe find some friends to play along on Board Game Arena, or join me or Jess on a future stream of this game if you want to give it a go. For then maybe down the line actually go ahead and get yourself a physical copy if you are aware that you're going to play it often enough with people on the table.
True. But yeah, like Tan said, you're always welcome to play on my channel or on Tan's channel. We always tend to put in the player sheets into the chat too, so you can try before you buy, essentially. But I do have that good feeling of knowing that a lot of you that hang out in our chats have made the wise purchases of buying those games because you have seen us play it here on stream. And so this was awesome. Lady T says she wishes she could play today, but hopes to play another time if you will do this again. Yes, Tan
Yes.
plays it weekly, plays Railroading
Yeah.
Challenge weekly,
Cu-
which is similar
Currently,
to the
it's every
base
other
game.
week.
Oh, okay, every other week. But he does the Railroading Challenge, but it's similar mechanics. There's just a little extra added stuff. But there is the actual base game on Board Game Arena, like Tan was saying. So if you are on Board Game Arena, Lady T, we can definitely spin up an async game so we can play it on async. But yeah, so I'm going to sign off though today, friends. Join me on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I'm going to be playing Lanterns Dice. It's a fun little roll and write on here, hoping to get a special guest to join me for that. We shall see. But Tan, tomorrow you are going to be online at 11 a.m. Pacific time. What are you going to be playing?
Tomorrow is the exception to the rule. It's the every third week rule.
Oh,
I have
that's right. Work
I have some
commitments.
extra work commitments, and it's although there are some changes which allows me to start earlier, I'm not going to stream tomorrow. So next
Okay.
stream Thursday.
Next stream will be Thursday, which will be what?
I think this week it will be Railroad Inc. Challenge
Okay,
because
well, there
last
you
week
go.
it has been something else.
Thursday.
And it's
Join Tan on Thursday.
most likely an expansion from the
Uh,
Eldritch expansion pack.
Awesome. And hello, Wim. You missed our 2 games of Railroad Inc., but it's good to see you on here, friend. I hope you're having a good Monday so far. Friends, I'm going to send you all over to our good buddy, Quaid Rain. Right now, he's doing a cooking and chatting stream as well as playing with a game on screen. I'm not sure what game he's playing yet, but give him a follow. He's a lovely individual. He made all those cool Gremlin and Mogwai emotes for me for the channel. So it's okay. Don't worry, Wim. You know you can always catch us at another time. So please give Quaid all the emotes, all the love. Follow his channel if you're interested in what he's doing. But he is also a wonderful part of the community. And until next time, friends, thanks again to you, Tan. I hope you all enjoy your day. And we'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.
Hi, Hans.